Those first, many years in San Francisco, there were a number of critics, to say the least.
Yeah,
and I wanted to mention a couple moments and just get you to recall what was on your mind when you heard it at the time. The first one being Jerry Rice saying, "You aren't the quarterback of the future."
Yeah, arguably the greatest football player ever. I think that's an easy argument to make. Definitely, obviously, one of the greatest 49ers ever, a Niner legend, certainly the heyday of the Niners, what we were all achieving to try to get back to. To be so vocal about me, and clearly his lack of support and what he thought about me. You certainly heard, you couldn't, those were certain times, those are hard to, you're hard to cancel out. So you hear them, they're there. So it's tough.
You're sounding like a politician all of a sudden.
Does it
there's
a lot of people.
Off? Does it
For sure. I just think the things.
Why'd this guy say?
I think in the time I knew how dysfunctional the work environment I was in at the time was. But as a young player,
three head coaches, 7 offensive coordinators, 17 different starting wide receivers over the course of 7 seasons. In order for anybody to have success, you have to have stability, and you had none of that.
And just the culture at the time in the building. Those first 6 years for me. I knew that it was really dysfunctional. I knew that this wasn't the way that successful places operated. Mm-hmm. But when you're a young QB, you can't, it's hard to vocalize that. It's hard to stand up and say that. It's hard to make the change because you don't necessarily, at that point, I don't know what the right thing totally looks like, right, at the NFL level, because I haven't been around it yet. I do know that the situation I'm in was not the right way. I did know that. I knew this was not healthy. Just the culture, everything about it. Forget the coaching changes. I'm talking just the culture of the building was not.
What was it? How would you describe
just not
it?
the focus. Just unhealthy, completely dysfunctional.
And what made it that way?
Different people on different wavelengths, not a clear communication, not a clear goal of the entire building. Very separated. And even then, I think that all trickled into the locker room, where it was very separated locker room, offense, defense, special teams. Wasn't a selfless unit. Not everybody putting the team first. I think all those things that come with dysfunction that are the opposite of what healthy organizations and team environments have. Yeah, but you're just so young, right? Like I said, I didn't know what a good place. I didn't know what the answers totally were, how to get there. So vocalizing that was hard as a young guy. And so that was what made it really frustrating, I think, when you did have guys like Jerry, or you did have guys that were so vocal about it. Because as a player, you're the one getting put out there, right? I'm the one that gets put out there.
How many times were you booed by the home crowd?
There definitely was a few-year period where I was far more comfortable playing on the road, that I looked forward to road games.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That the pressure of the home game, fans turning on us, that was a lot, for sure. There were certainly times leading up to that, moments of such poor play and product that it for sure justified, right? Like it was bad. It was bad ball that we were putting out there. Certainly leading up to the one that really obviously sticks out to me. I definitely remember, I think it was a Sunday night game, playing against Coach Reed. He was then at Philadelphia. I was at Candlestick, Sunday night game, and it goes, we were capable of it as a team so much better, so much more. This was the same team that the next year went 13-3, and that we were underachieving and not playing to our potential, and I think fans certainly frustrated. Yeah, and then getting booed Sunday night in front of everybody, national TV crowd, and just feel like I'm battling and feel like I'm the guy that's getting exposed out there. That there were a lot of other things that I'm taking the brunt of, and then all of a sudden I'm dealing with a head coach on the sideline that's in my face and screaming at me on top of fans chanting for the backup, and I was trying to please all these people, right? I felt like a head coach that didn't understand at all what it took, and being put in getting put out there in a situation that's not optimal to go succeed, and taking all that and yeah, you know, and I think there's finally a moment where you're just like, man, this is screw this, right? I'm tired of trying to please all these different people. You know, I'm done with this, and really kind of being that kind of culmination of all that, and I'm gonna go play for my teammates and play for me, and I'm not gonna worry about the rest of this stuff.